It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC Wildcard matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Houston Texans. What twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Ready? Watching the clock. They gonna need some therapy after this.
And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Gordon. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
60 Pittsburgh.
On second down, Swift, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Gordon. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
80 weapons.
Throwing again. Gordon. That's complete to John Ross. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Down. 18 Gator. 55.
Throwing on first down. Gordon. He's got Green. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Second and goal at the 6-yard line.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. Second and 6. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, the intended target. But now it's third and goal.
Now we got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Back to throw. Gordon. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it fourth down. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard
line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here first and 10 at their own 21. Watson now to throw. And this one complete to Will Fuller. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 79 yards. And the Texans have taken the lead. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I started with one of the better defensive coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend, and a nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Looking to throw. Gordon. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Come on,
so here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Set, ready, 90, Wolf.
Man left, man left. Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Switch, switch, switch.
They'll run on first down. Swift. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Solomon Thomas, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
3rd and long.
Here we go. 60 or.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Gordon. And that is incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will tie things up at 6-6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Just like that. Just like that.
High 31.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Watson. It's complete to Fuller. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
A gain of 12 yards. And the Texans first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. These two teams all tied after 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Geno Atkins on the stop.
Oh, yeah!
A gain of 4. It's
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I got
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at their 48-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson, blitz coming, and down he goes. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. He's got Fuller. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. On 4th down, Trevor Daniel on to punt. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. To throw on 2nd down. Gordon. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On 1st down, Swift, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And now the throw hauled in by Green. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 38-yard line.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conlon. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
57, Mike, 57. Coming to you, coming to you.
Watson on 3rd down. Thomas has got it, complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Good open field tackling there, a 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Gordon completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Looking to throw. Gordon. Flushed out right. He'll try and run it. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On the set.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. They send Green to the left on his own. Back to throw. Gordon. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Looking to throw. Gordon. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end. But now it's 3rd and goal.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
36, pull it high. Hey, Delta.
From the gun on 3rd down. Gordon. He gets this one to Boyd. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. On 4th down, Gordon. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, as the first half is winding down, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And it's up and good to extend the lead to 13-6.
Next score, Bengals 13, Texans 6.
And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Back to throw, Watson. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. So we're at halftime of this AFC Wildcard matchup as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC Wildcard game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Watson going to give this one to Miller, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And Thomas has it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A first down carry now for Miller. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Again, it's Miller. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Check, Mike 57, Mike 57.
Now Watson on 3rd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Evans able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Back to throw. Gordon. And able to haul it in is Kittle. 23 yards on the play.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Gordon. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Gordon. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Second and 9 at the 18-yard line.
57's the mic. 57's the mic.
On 2nd and 9, Watson going up top. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's get 24. 57's right. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team out.
Out of the gun, Watson. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
That's good for the Texans. 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
You. Now. 24. Force. 57. Mike, 57.
To throw is Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And it's 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
To throw again on 2nd down, Watson. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Set up. 60 outlaw.
55. Yeah, let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
Go.
On 1st and 10, Gordon. Steps away to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. 33 yards. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Switch gears. 57's a mark.
On 2nd and 7, Watson Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 46-yard line.
One quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. '24, 57, Mike, 57.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. He'll find Miller. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
57's Mike. Mike, over. So we got man. 57's the Mike.
Now Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Carlos Dunlap drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
The Texans send the punter out. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Let's go.
Now this time he'll look to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Texans scoop it.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th.
This is it. 19. Rip. 59. 2 points down. He's coming.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Watson now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10.
Check 49, check 49.
Watson with a give to Miller. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
On second and 11 now. Watson into a double team, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, then?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. From the gun, Gordon. He completes it to Boyd. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On the ready.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Gordon. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
From his goal line here, Watson. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Watson. To throw on 3rd down. And Watson's going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points mean this is now a 2-score game.
And 2 doesn't seem like much, does it? But it means everything in this situation, because now they're going to have to look back, and ultimately that might be the play that ends up deciding this game.
And he spins through.
We play to win. Let's go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready. 15 line. 15 line. Ready.
Operating from the gun, Gordon. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for, and now it's 2nd down.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. Hey, 55. 57. Mike, 57. Blue day. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Throwing again is Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 8 yards into completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. From the 50, it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Evans, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. On 4th down, Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them 1 step closer.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long from Houston.